Hey gamers, I'm the new challenger. Welcome back to the Grand Theft Auto Retrospect. This is part 2. Today we'll be reviewing Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City for the PS2. Check it out. When this game came out in October 2001, it literally shook the gaming foundation. This game had a genre of its own. There was nothing else like it. But unfortunately, because of 9/11 and the fact that this was loosely based on New York City, a couple of things in the game had to be changed before it was released. If anyone remembers that in the game there was a plane that was called the Dodo, but the wings were clipped and they attempted to make it unflyable. But if you were really good, you could actually fly around the city for a good 3 or 4 minutes before plummeting to your death. Another thing is that they originally had blue and white cop cars. This was also changed slightly. Besides that, the visual representation of New York remained the same. The city was split up into 3 sections. Portland, which represents Queens, Staten Island was Manhattan, and Shoreside Vale was New Jersey. The main thing that made this a truly awesome sequel was the fact that it was now in 3D and a completely fresh experience on city life. The passage of time was also included, so now there was night and day. For every 30 minutes of time, a day passed by in GTA. Weather effects also made an introduction, although it was limited to rain and or fog. Also, the fact that this was on a DVD meant a better soundtrack, better sound effects, and now there was dialogue between and from characters, including random people on the street instead of the chipmunk talk from the first game. And the voice acting was actually quite good. The story started out with you and your Russian girlfriend, Catalina, robbing a bank. At the last moment, she betrays you, and you get caught by the police. As you're being hauled up to jail with several other people, I think it was the Colombians, they blow up the bridge, and they actually rescue one of the prisoners that were in the truck with you, and you're stuck with someone else by the name of 8-Ball. After a small intro and one training mission, you're actually pretty much able to go around and do almost anything. And although it's never really mentioned in the game, the character's name is Claude Speed, and he doesn't really talk at all, actually, throughout the whole game. And because of that, the story seems like it doesn't really have anything to do with you up until like the middle of the story, but you're just a henchman for hire doing everyone's bidding, I guess. And the story really only progresses when you take missions from important key characters in the game. And because of that, it seems like the story really focuses on just the relation between the Mafia, Yakuza, and the Triads, and other stereotype groups, but it doesn't seem to really focus on you. You're just, like I said, a henchman. Although in the beginning you're limited to one borough, you still have the freedom to do almost anything. Also, if you're able to get your hands on an ambulance, you can actually do ambulance missions where you could go around and rescue people and take them to the hospital. And on top of that, if you can get a fire truck, you can do fire truck missions, and also taxi cab missions, and if you're really good and get a police car, you can do vigilante missions. Now those are fun. This game received a lot of controversy from its graphic nature, realistic gameplay, and stereotyping, prompting lawmakers and other people who know nothing about video games to take action. But fortunately, that didn't stop Rockstar from making better sequels, and it also didn't stop other game publishers trying to capitalize on this new type of gameplay. GTA clones suddenly emerged. The sad part is a good 95% of them were really bad and not even worth playing. After the outstanding success of Grand Theft Auto 3, Rockstar had the daunting task of trying to make a better sequel. In 2002, Vice City was released to the public and improved on everything that Grand Theft Auto 3 had. This time, the year was 1986, and the story revolves around the character Tommy Vercetti. Tom's voice is played by the actor Ray Liotta. You might remember him from Goodfellas, and he brings a life to the character in the story as well. And also, if you couldn't tell by the name, Vice City was a fictional recreation of Miami, and it was also twice as big as Liberty City. This game also had a lot of influence from the movie Scarface, and actually loosely followed the same story structure. And also in Vice City, they added a lot more content to the game. And not only that, they improved on the gameplay element with addition with motorcycles, boats, and helicopters. Being able to zip around in a motorcycle, brave the waves in a speedboat, or fly around in a helicopter gave you a better definition of what free roaming actually meant. Also new to the gameplay element was the ability to duck, which allowed you to get behind cover and also improved your aim with weapons. Also helping your aim was an improved targeting system, which allowed you to specifically aim for certain body parts of a character, or even parts from a vehicle, which allowed for a more strategic form of gameplay. Vice City also lets you go indoors, and which added an extra element of drawing you into the game. Being able to go into dance clubs or hotels was a cool addition to the game. And another cool addition was being able to purchase real estate. Besides Ray Liotta doing the voice of Tommy Vercetti, there were also other Hollywood talent behind the voices, like Luis Guzman or Philip Michael Thomas. He actually starred in Miami Vice back in the day. I don't know if anyone knows that. They even managed to get Janet Jameson to do the voice of the character Candy Sucks, who was a porn star in the game. The audio was also a step up from GTA 3, although it was meant to represent the 80s. That included real licensed music from artists at that time, which any person who grew up during the 80s could appreciate. Even just walking around listening to what random people on the street had to say was amusing. Well, that's all I have to say about GTA 3 and Vice City. So if you like violence, mayhem, destruction, or freedom to do whatever you want, then these games are a must-have.